Hello and welcome. I am Femi Akonde. You're watching Politics on Sunday. In Nigeria, the political space this period is saturated with dreams, ambitions, and aspirations of politicians that are currently locked in a tight contest to outsmart, outplay, and outnumber themselves. So far, there are about 38 presidential aspirants, and that is between the All Progressives Congress, the APC, and the PDP, the People's Democratic Party. The number of aspirants across all political platforms in the country brings the total to about 50. Executing a national presidential campaign means the candidates will have to crisscross the length and breadth of the country to lobby, consult, and campaign for votes. It is not a venture for the weak and weary. Most times, the candidate must also have money, lots of cash to run such an ambitious political venture. It is expensive, complex, and risky. Money is almost the most significant requirement. And so far, we have seen a trend of cash inflow and outflow from politicians and political parties. Just recently, a Daily Trust report published on Friday shows how the spending of 9 presidential aspirants who are serving governors has attracted public attention and scrutiny. The long list of presidential aspirants interested in doing one of the most important jobs in the country could also have demystified the character, capacity, and competence of who should be president. The office of the president is now the single most contested elective position in the country. On the program today, I will sit down with Otumba Biodun Ajiboye to talk about serious issues of politics and governance. Otumba Biodun Ajiboye. Next week we'll have the presidential primaries, but it's in the real sense of it, it has become like a race, a presidential race, because the number of aspirants we're seeing is huge, and people are beginning to ask questions. Does it mean the job of the president is that easy?
Well, it could mean a lot of people are, view the job of the president to be rosy. Maybe not easy, but rosy. They perceive that there must be a benefit behind this for some people. For some, it's about service to fatherland. For some, again, it's about everybody is taking this form. Let me try and take it in case I get lucky. So different people, I guess, with different motives for wanting to get in the race. But we know that the chair is only for one person. Only one person will be able to sit on that chair, even as candidates of the party. So, everybody is taken aback with the upsurge of people rushing to be president of Nigeria.
Even the cost of the nomination and expression of interest form, it's high. For the APC, it's 100 million naira. For the PDP, it's 40 million naira. Yet that didn't deter people from picking these forms.
I think it's better imagined. It shows that a lot of people within the political class have money. If not, I can't understand how at 100 million, about close to 40 people will be, hustling and rushing for that form. But that was what we saw.
So that means money is going to play a huge role in the next general election. It remains a dominant factor. You will agree with me?
Not perfectly, because when you say money will play a big role, as if money has not played a big role in the past.
Well, the system was trying to de-emphasize the role of money, especially looking at the new electoral act, pegging how much campaigns should spend, pegging that of the president, the governorship, and all of that. It was trying to control the role money plays in politics.
Now,
but
politics.
Seems, that might be far from it.
So you look at it, if they say it's 100 million and about 40 people, jostled, what if they had brought it to 10 million? We could have probably have close to 1,000 people trying to take the form. So it is looking like money is not a deterrent to anybody, to them, to some of these people to come on and say, I want to express my interest to be president of Nigeria. So we need to look for other parameters to to checkmate indecent behavior towards elections. Because if we de-emphasize money and people still find ways of getting the money to still compete, it means that we need to look for other parameters to checkmate people's untoward behavior.
Because all what people have been talking about is the money, 100 million naira. We're hearing less of what these aspirants are saying, what they plan to do. How has their engagement been? How have they been able to indeed express their interest beyond filling these forms? How have they been able to tell us what they are coming to do, or what they intend to do if they clinch that presidential ticket?
Let us be very honest with ourselves. Not a lot of them mean the race. Not a lot of them has the capacity to go for the race.
So why are they in the race?
I've just told you the Nigerian factor. Once anything looks fashionable, everybody wants to be part of it. Except until it's getting difficult, they begin to withdraw. Otherwise, I mean, how many of them have you seen going round? Just a few. Apart from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I really haven't seen anybody really doing the real thing. The man is in possibly 3 states per day. You understand? Apart from him, I see the VP making a bit of effort, but to me, it looks like he's combining official work with that. So if he has official work, he takes the planes and he moves around and branches this place and say, look, delegates, let me talk to you before I go for my official assignment. I perceive that. Then
to kill 2 birds.
You understand that,
Smart,
which is clever. There's no doubt about that. I don't have a problem with that. But Asiwaju is the only person I see who takes his politics seriously, who understands how to express his political interests. And everywhere he gets to, people appreciate the fact that, hey, you are a godfather. You've been here a long time. We know you. We know your color. We know your character. We know what you can do. We know what you can deliver. Every other person is subject to, okay, what have you done before? Very few of them have things to point to as what they have done before. But we will do. So, you can understand. They don't have enough time. Most of them do not have the capacity to go around. It's not just getting yourselves before the delegates. It's having the delegates to recognize who you are and who you have been.
Yes, and that brings me to this question. You have also closely monitored Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's campaigns and his interaction and consultations across the country. What exactly is he saying to delegates, and how is he wooing them to get their trust?
Femi, let me be very honest with you. Asiwaju is a factor in the Nigerian political landscape. Asiwaju is known in almost every home in Nigeria, north, south, east. To that extent, every APC delegate knows about Asiwaju because of the roles he has played in politics. Take his incursion into politics, for instance. How was he able to get close to the Bogu king, Dantoro? It's through his politics, his kind of politics. Asiwaju plays politics and gets into your life in a way that you will never forget him. And that's what is paying off for him now today. What he has done 40 years back is what is paying out. I mean, how did he become so close, so friendly with Shetima of Borno? How did he become so unforgettable in the heart of people like Ganduje in Kano? How did he become so conjoined to people like Abu Ibrahim in Castina or Masari in Castina? How? A man from Lagos, he knows the politics of Nigeria, and he has put his hands in it a long time. He has played it right a long time, and a lot of people are not learning from that. They jumped into it and thinking that within 5-6 years, I can then do what some people have done for 35 years. It doesn't work in politics.
But an Irish actor once said, you can't trust a politician. It doesn't matter who makes a political speech. It's all lies. We have seen delegates pledge allegiance, promise or show commitment, promise to give their vote and support to particular candidates. And people are saying, come on, you can't trust these people. On the day of the primaries, it's going to be down to the wires. and we might see betrayals, backstabbing, and anything can happen.
Well, that is correct. The politics of delegates is not a question for 10 days preparation. It's a question for 48 hours maximum. Within 48 hours, the parameters, the scenarios, the conjectures will change totally. Yes, correct. But it is only reasonable for you to allow them to know you before that day, which is what all of them have tried to do. But not all of them could get around everywhere. Okay, if we zero it down to what quality of discussion could take place between the delegates and the aspirants, that is where the crux of the issue actually is. What kind of talk can emanate, can ensue between Bola Tinubu and the delegates? I have been governor of Lagos. I met Lagos in heaps of disorganization, ruins. Lagos was thought dirtiest city in the world when I met Lagos. Lagos had no address when I met Lagos. Lagos had no enough money to run its affairs when I met Lagos. Lagos was probably regarded as the most confused city in the world when I met Lagos. But I met Lagos and left Lagos from an IGR of 900 million. I left Lagos with IGR of close to 22 billion. Right. I made sure that every street in Lagos can be monitored right from the office of the governor, because every street has an address and can be put into GIS and can be monitored. That is to curb security. I met Lagos where every child is in school. I met Lagos where, I left Lagos where every child is in school. I met Lagos where area boys took over the whole environment. I created a business district in Lagos Island that is next to none in Nigeria. I returned sanity to the social fabric of the people of Lagos. These are things you can tell people and they will believe you, because we're not telling stories. It's a different thing to say, well, in the last 6 years, I have been here, I've learned a lot, and I hope to take it from there. It's a different thing. Or it's a different...
to the vice president there.
Well, I have spoken, and I expect that people will understand. It is not really my responsibility to refer to people by their names, but I can hear what everybody is saying. It's different from a game of, I've been governor of a state, I'm still governor. I hope that, how have you governed your state? Give us the relevant references from your state. Or I am more qualified than Asiwaju because today I am minister. So what did you do as governor that we can point to? Do you, in your state, do you have this? Is APC actually governing your state now? Is your state a PDP state? If your state is a PDP state, on what moral grounds do you want to stand in front of delegates to say they should elect you when you cannot even control your state? These are some things that are going to actually play out and people will reason with. So they are going around to talk to delegates, is to introduce themselves properly, and somebody like Asiwaju has a lot of things to say. You can see that from the kind of reception he's receiving everywhere. Even in Jigawa, that we know that the governor is even a candidate, the governor says he gave him the leeway to contest in 2011. And without that 2011, he could not have made 2015. That is a politician who had sown everywhere. Let him go to Sokoto and you see what will happen in Sokoto. Some of them were driven away from Maiduguri. Let Asiwaju go to Maiduguri and you see the reception. There are politicians and there are politicians. Asiwaju today, as we speak, has the language of the delegates. And the delegates have the ability to understand his language.
Yeah, and some people are saying that the plans of some of the plans and strategy of politicians have been skewed, especially now that President Muhammadu Buhari did not sign the latest amendment or has not signed the latest amendment to the Electoral Act. That means delegates that will be allowed to vote in these primary elections would be elected at the ward and state level. How has this changed the calculation?
Definitely, we were expecting 7,800 delegates, which is with the bulk of which is statutory delegates. Yeah. Now, from the way things are going, do I say refused to sign or has not signed yet?
Has not signed yet.
Now, if he has not signed yet, there's a hope that he would sign. Will he still meet the legal latitude of time? If it will, fine. If he doesn't sign eventually, it means that we'll be down to just about 3,000 delegates, 2,008, 3,000 delegates maximum. Means that only elected delegates will vote. Statutory delegates have been, so to speak, perhaps disenfranchised or at least edged out of voting. So what is the problem here? As at the last submission of form that Asiwaju did, he had about 12 governors that appended his form. But at least the governors have substantial interest in whatever happens in their state politically. Yeah. They are the political leaders of the party in their states. So therefore, I don't see Asiwaju having a lot of problems there. I think the problem of this change in delegate parameter or permutation will affect more those candidates, those aspirants that are not very, very prepared for the primary elections. A lot of them are not prepared. A lot of them have not even gone around anywhere to say, I'm here. Maybe a lot of them are waiting for the usual game on the day of the primaries. So, but in any case, someone like Asiwaju is eminently qualified and very much prepared from what we can see.
Yes, you know, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari came on board with three strong themes. That is the fight against corruption, tackling insecurity, and improving the economy. And, you know, talking about corruption, we have seen just recently the Accountant General of the Federation, you know, he was arrested, alleged to have fraudulently embezzled about 80 billion naira. You're not Asiwaju. You don't. I don't think. You are not him. You don't particularly speak for him, but you have closely monitored him and his style of governance, leadership, and administration. What would you say is his disposition so far in terms of the way he has governed and led, his disposition towards this fight against corruption?
Let's start from here. Asiwaju started his professional career as an accountant, as an auditor. What that means in simple language is that he cares for income and outflow of funds. And when funds are stuck somewhere, he traces the position of logjam and unravel it. He had done that for many multinationals in the world, including Mobil, including Aramco, including many multinationals in America. That means that Asiwaju understands the language of corruption and how to curb it. All through his tenure in Lagos, it was a question of financial engineering. And when a country has the right financial engineer or a leader who knows how to manage finances, that country is out of the woods completely. Now, talking about how Asiwaju will fight corruption, how much of those corruption did you see in Lagos, as a matter of fact? You see, a man who knows how to manage affairs of men and a country appreciates what we call reward system. When people are properly rewarded for work done, there is little room for corruption. Why did we have the reform, the reform of judges or justice system in Lagos? Principal reason was, look, these judges are too poorly paid. For you to curb corruption in their league, you must ensure that they are properly remunerated. And that was what accounted for each and every one of them having a house, a car, and all of that. They were motivated. And corruption reduced drastically. That is a man who has experience behind him. And that is the language. That is exactly the issue we have been talking about all the while. Somebody knows how to do something. It's not a matter of somebody is learning how to do something. You understand? So, an Asiwaju government, for instance, we're not mouth corruption or fight against corruption. We'll work on it and you see the way it works. Tell me today in Lagos how automated payment systems have been. If you are conversant with Lagos, payment system is automated. In the world of technology, why must anybody steal money? How is it possible? You can checkmate it considerably if you have the knowledge. Asiwaju is the key person in this direction.
Yeah, you know, and people in scrutinizing Asiwaju's candidate, so many people have raised questions. Some talk about his health. even though we have seen him go around states campaigning, stomping for votes, sometimes 2 to 3 states in a day, but that question still hangs: his health. And people say, yes, indeed, he has capacity, but that health may not support that capacity to lead.
Femi, those who talk about Asiwaju's health in the negative term are those who don't like him. They are speculating. They see him as being a little bit weak physically, and they think he's not healthy. Asiwaju, the way Asiwaju runs his life, he doesn't sleep enough for years because he's bothered with the way things will work, and he doesn't sleep enough, probably, is one of the reasons. Asiwaju is healthy. Let me give you my personal experience with him. This is not something I read in book. We got into it, myself and my colleagues, about 3 of us or 4 of us, got into a meeting with Asiwaju at about 11 o'clock in the evening, in the night, in the 11 o'clock p.m. We didn't leave that meeting until 4 a.m. in the morning. The next day, he was going to Zamfara State. And right in that meeting, he was making arrangement on how to travel to Zamfara the next day, which means he slept till about 11 or 12. And Zamfara is such that you fly to Sokoto and 3 hours to Zamfara, 3 hours back. That is somebody that is not healthy to them. He made that trip. Immediately after that trip from Zamfara, he went to Oyo, to Ogbomoso, to Oyo, to Ibadan, before he went to Lagos. Can a sick man do that? That is my personal experience. Can a sick man do that? What do they call sick? Inability to move your body and use your body and mental state accordingly. That's what they call sickness. A man who is moving and junketing the whole of Nigeria, 3 states a day, is he sleeping is he sleeping there, or is communicating? Can he not communicate to delegates and they will take him seriously? So tell me who is not sick. If you say that man is sick, then show me the person that is agile. I, sitting here on my honor, can tell you Asiwaju is not sick. I have seen him, I've related with him, I've interacted with him. Oh, this period of time that I told you we were having a meeting with him, he went to the toilet only twice. I went 4 times, and he's about 11 or 12 years older than me. So, if you see me talking now, can you say I'm sick? And that man appears even healthier than me. That's the analogy. With that, I don't need to say anything again about his health. Whoever feels is sick to produce a certificate of health, or to us, and let us see where he got the certificate from. Asiwaju is not sick in any way. The man is as hale and hearty as anything else. His brain is intact.
Some people will say that Nigeria is more divided than the APC met it in 2015, because there are new emerging trends around both security, both on ethnic front, where there are growing agitations every day. The next president of Nigeria will have so much on his plate. What should be the approach in tackling all of this and keeping the country as that one indivisible whole?
We need a Nigerian that is destabilized, first of all. In the cabinet of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos, Akabueze was one. There is a man from Katsina in his cabinet. There was a man from Katsina in his cabinet. People from the current vice president, Osinbajo, was from Ogun State. My brother was his chief of staff from Kwara State. Wale Edun from Ogun State. Dele Alake from Ekiti State. That is the man that can unite Nigeria. Because he already knows that what he needs for you to work with him is the quality of your brain and not the character or color of your language or dialect, as the case may be. That is one factor. 2, you must be sociable as a leader in Nigeria today. You must be highly sociable. Tell me, in every state, you enter any state and you don't have 2 friends that can decide to give you pounded yam to eat in their house without thinking twice. That is Asiwaju. How many of them can meet that? How many of the current aspirants we have can be so sociable that he can tell you every local government in Nigeria, he will have a house he can enter and eat pounded yam without thinking twice? We need that level and kind of human to lead Nigeria. Because The problem of Nigeria today in terms of insecurity, disunity, is as a result of perhaps not using enough capacity that we have as a people. Technology today should be one of those things we need to use a lot more to curb crimes, especially when the crimes are eating deep into our social fabrics. So I've mentioned 3 good things now. 1 is adequate use of technology. 2, a sociable leader. 3, a detribalized leader. Asiwaju qualifies in all of these directions. I'm sure you know how Lagos traffic is managed. The governor can sit in his office in Lagos. Jide can sit in his office in Lagos and see all the traffic in every street of Lagos. He can see every street of Lagos. Lagos has been so automated and digitized. If that happens, it means all the trouble spots can be located at ease with security people. So I'm saying to you, a combination of 3 things can checkmate our insecurity. 1, a sociable leader. 2, a detribalized leader. 3, a leader who understands how to use technology to curb crime.
If the All Progressives Congress chooses Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their presidential flag bearer, that is just one hurdle. The next hurdle will be the general election. And so many people say the All Progressives Congress has frittered away the goodwill it got at the 2015 general election. That is on the back of that popular vote that brought it to power. It will be a tough task for Asiwaju. Do you think his candidature will secure a majority vote for the APC?
I have no doubt. A tough task requires a tough person. You must know the task ahead of you. You must devise strategies to tackle the task. We are up to the task. Our prayer is that we should get the ticket. If we get the ticket, the rest is easy.
That is our program this week. You can see this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Also follow me on Twitter as we continue to talk politics ahead of next week's primary election and the next year's general election. I am Femi Akonde. Thank you for watching.